The MCU is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Yelena as a character. Let me explain.
Hi.
Now, Yelena has kind of became a household name due to the MCU with her introduction of the Black Widow movie and her installment within the MCU just being a course within itself, with Black Widow to Hawkeye to Thunderbolts. And it's honestly kind of insane how rise of popularity she's gained within the audience of comic fans and non-comic fans alike. Everybody seems to love Yelena as a character, more than Natasha actually. So that's what makes me prompt this video of thinking the MCU is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Yelena, mainly because her rise of popularity not only comes from the comics, as this has happened a lot in the MCU where comic characters have just gained more popularity due to them being in the MCU as well. Yelena herself has just been re-envisioned as an entirely different character due to the MCU herself, and it's honestly just amazing to see not only fans like her, but even comic fans themselves think that her MCU counterpart is one of those rare occasions where she's better than her comic counterpart. Now, some might argue that comic Yelena is more superior than MCU Yelena. It's, again, no shocking matter when the comics start to write their character the same or similar to the adaptation of the MCU, but a lot of fans are outspoken saying MCU Yelena is more just likable, she's more just fun to read, and she's more of an interesting character compared to her old comic counterpart.
I promise. I don't have any weapons on me. Okay, I take that back. I don't have any weapons currently in my hands. That's a lie also.
Now, if you don't know who comic Yelena is, she's more of a serious rival Mystique type of character that rivals Black Widow and Natasha as herself. Yelena's comic counterpart is more serious. She's nowhere near quippy, nowhere near as fun, and she's just nowhere near as just less put together than MCU Yelena is. Another thing about comic Yelena is Natasha and Yelena aren't sisters in the comics. Now, due to this change in the MCU, maybe that's changed in the comics. I think it has, but comic Yelena was never meant to be Natasha's sister. She was meant to be her rival and more of a villain.
But in all honesty, if I wanted to kill you,
You would have already.
right as you open the door.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have even had time to shut it.
No.
I'd have been dead.
No.
Yeah, okay.
But with all the changes being made due to MCU Yelena and maybe just Florence Pugh's influence on the character herself, comic Yelena and MCU Yelena have kind of become one sort of thing. And when I say the MCU is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Yelena, her exposure and just her characterization change has just been two things that have gained her more of a fan base and more of just a look upon within her character. Now, her being on the Thunderbolts team in the comics has yet to happen, but actually I lied, because there was a 2024 run of her and Natasha and Bucky being on the Thunderbolts team, but that's different to speak about. Now, is it due to Florence Pugh's portrayal of Yelena herself and just the force she's given within the character, or does it have something to do with the writing, or is it just the change is a necessary change you need to make in the comics and the old comic adaptation would have done well? Who knows? I know I love Yelena because Florence Pugh portrays the character amazingly, and she's done so much for the character, and she will never be forgotten as Yelena. She will always be Yelena. So maybe it's just her character is so lovable and likable that just makes her different. But I think comic Yelena and MCU Yelena is going to now be the common norm for comic Yelena and Yelena as a character. Whenever we think Yelena, we think her MCU counterpart, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes changing to be made in current day and age to make it successful for characters and just people to like as well. But you know what? Like I said before, MCU Yelena is just the greatest things that ever happened to the character. It's honestly one of the greatest things that ever happened to the Black Widow mythos. And yeah, no, I just think MCU Yelena just has so much layer to her that makes her so lovable, and I just think MCU Yelena and just, well, I can say Yelena now is more of a fun character for not only people, but you know, little girls and girls who just like comic book female characters, because she's just that fun, not fun, but yeah, well, she is a fun, but she's like a fun, quirky, serious character that you just can't stand to love, seriously.
Are you in New York to talk to Clint? Is that why you're here?
No. I'm here to kill him.
Alright, y'all, it's not yet for today's video, but yeah, I just wanted to make this little video just to get my thoughts out again. Yo, y'all love and support each other. There's been a lot of hate and there's just been a lot of violence in the world lately. So y'all love and just support one another, please. It's really important that we follow the Bible and love thy neighbor. Loving each other is one of the most important things we can do in this life, in this world. You know, don't spend your life hating. Don't spend your life with hatred in your heart, because it's just a very serious thing, and I don't want nobody to look upon somebody else or just doubt somebody else. I want to live in a world where everybody uplifts each other, loves one another, and you know, there's competitive stuff out there. So if you want to be competitive with each other, just still remember to love thy neighbor at the end of the day. So yeah, y'all appreciate the likes, the subscribes, tune in for more, and Love y'all.